We've got the King of Kings with a queen. Welcome to Furtado Brothers and my sister,
Deborah Jameson.
Deborah. So today we're talking about Supreme, the man, the legend, what he did for his community, and why he should be able to come home. What do you have to say to all of that?
Well, exactly, your sentiments and my sentiments. Kenneth Supreme McGriff, we go back to we was 9, 10 years old. And from what I know, he's done a lot in the community as far as entrepreneurship, you know, inspiring our younger generation that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. And he showed that when he became a film producer. You know, he's always been community oriented. We used to do a lot of events for the kids back in the days. We used to do bus trips to Great Adventures. We used to do beach parties, pool parties, and everything was free. And it was all in line with helping to build stronger, safer, closer communities. And so that's something that I know personally about Supreme. You know, that's been a long-time friend of ours. The Furtado family and the McGriffs go way, way back. We're part of the history of South Jamaica, Queens.
Now, I want to ask you, when people talk negative and you hear it so much, what do you tell them as far as for them to understand the truth?
Well, first we got to understand that negativity makes the world go round. And when there's a person that don't know and talking negative, we have to be swift to say you got to know the person to speak about the person. And I'm going to speak about the person. So Kenneth Supreme McGriff was a person, pardon me, is a person, 'cause I know he's doing it now. He is a person that always gave sound advice. If he saw anybody in the midst of any trouble, Supreme had good encouraging words to help them navigate through that situation. Brother's always on point. Even in his situation now, I know he's still on point because that's the brother that he is.
Knowledge yourself, you know, and that to me is something that I'm hearing throughout the whole day, and it's beautiful. I want to hear from an Earth as far as why it's so important for us to support our brothers, even though people might make them into villain, and you know the truth, why it's important as a woman to stand behind and beside our men to let them know, not true.
Because right now, a lot of our youth don't have fathers in their life, and we losing our young brothers because they don't have their father in their life to teach them better. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see your child grow up the same life you want to grow. You want to make them better.
And, you know, one of the things that I heard, and she said that, you know, when you're living, you want to see the youth live better than you. And one of the things that we brought up earlier was some of this ideology or description that they have of Supreme was when he was young, a teenager. He's a grown man. And you knowing him as a child, and now you and a man, an adult, what do you say as far as his mentality, how it's grown and how yours has grown, and why it's so unjust to hold somebody to something that they did before and not what they are now?
So, you know, just reflecting back on, so I could bring it forward, the history of Queens. And like the event that we're at today, the Guard Body Reunion Barbecue. This is an annual event. Now, when you go back to the 70s and moving forward, there were two major movements that kind of controlled Queens, South Jamaica, Queens. One was the Guard Body, the other one was the Seven Crowns. You know what I'm saying? So we happen to be Seven Crowns, and Preem happened to be Guard Body, but we all came together to unify for one cause, knowing that, you know, to better ourselves and help better our communities, we had to change our stinking thinking, you know, as Todd would always say. Now, as kids, well, you know, of course, real Queens. And like the event that we're at today, the Guard Body Reunion Barbecue. This is an annual event. Now, when you go back to the 70s and moving forward, there were two major movements that kind of controlled Queens, South Jamaica, Queens. One was the Guard Body, the other one was the Seven Crowns. You know what I'm saying? So we did things a little different. There was rules, codes, procedures, and respect in place to whatever we did, whatever decisions we made. And Preem was always a man of honor. He was always a man of honor. So for folks that's out there watching this and you understand the dialogue that's being kicked and you understand what is a man of honor, that's what McGriff was, a man of honor. You know, he stood for something.
You know, I want to ask you, because one of the things that he said is, all I want is my day in court to tell my story. I'm willing to take the death penalty if you prove me wrong. And one thing that rang in my head is, if somebody's telling the truth, they could say that. But if somebody's telling a lie, they wouldn't say that. So it's more evident that he is speaking the truth. What are some other evidences that you know that is like, man, this can't be true?
Well, I can't speak on what's not true or what is true, but I know if my brother said, allow him his day to speak the truth. When you want to speak the truth, those that are listening don't want to hear the truth, because if they hear the truth, they have to relieve you from them shackles. So he's going to get his day. He's going to speak the truth, and everything that's being said today about Kenneth is on point. Beautiful brother. Even in the midst of growing up as a young guy, we all did things. Trials and tribulations was part of our life. We was born in adversity. So some of the things were self-made, some was planted. We played it to the best of our abilities. Some of us went a little further. Some of us got caught up. But at the end of the day, you can't take a heart from a man. And that brother heart is still big today. That's why this barbecue goes on today, because Preem started it, and it's going to continue. And one day he's going to be back out here doing an interview with you saying how sweet it smell to be home.
Amen. I like the sound of that. Now, my last question, I'm going to leave it to the queen, because you know, we're the nurturers of the world, and if you want to change the nature of things, you've got to start with the nurturers. So, Debbie, what would you tell President Obama if he was standing right in front of you?
I would tell President Obama that he had to really come out and support like the black communities, because we like really struggling right now, and we struggling because everybody's not on one accord. Once everybody get on one accord, then things will be much better, and stop the racistness, because that's a lot going on in the community. You know what I'm saying? Our black people need to see that we being helped more. And then I think we won't have that much crime in here if we all come to one accord.
It's about keeping hope alive. It's about telling the truth. It's about justice. It's about people of color no longer being the victim of unjust rulings and injustice. It's about us being involved in a part of justice, and so that justice will prevail. And all day we've been talking about what is right. And what is right is to give this man his constitutional right. President Obama, if you don't do anything else, all we're asking is to allow Kenneth McGriff, a.k.a. Supreme, his constitutional right to tell his story. And then let the powers be. We pretty much done. So all I want to say is make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you spread the word, because the truth must prevail. # Justice for Kenneth McGriff. Good night.